Welcome back to my channel, people. If you are new, welcome. Today we are going to speak about something that I have actually been wanting to speak about, teaching you guys for the longest time. Today is the day. I have been procrastinating this for a long time, actually month, but there has always, been something getting in the way. So today I shall do it, also because, we are in the season of magic, so bitch. Well, we also have candles. You guys could remember these candles from back in the days. Back in the days are not that long ago, but it's been a while since I had these, candles. So today we are going to have candles because it makes sense. I am also probably going to use some items, but I will grab them when I need. I grabbed some items that I believe that we need, such as crystals, candle, a penny, very beautiful penny, and a key. We also have a little heart. I also have Eddie here because I took pictures with Eddie, and Eddie was a part of my reading that I did earlier today. The candles are also playing with us. Yeah, you guys know candles. Yeah, spirit is always active, but you guys could see. I don't know how much into details I'm going to go with this video, so I might, do a second video if you guys like this. I also have this crystal here. But, oh, Waylon is here. It's also very rainy outside, it's very cozy. But sympathetic magic is kind of like acting. It does involve symbolically imitating an outcome that you want with using items. So again, this can be acting, this can be you playing out a representation of what it is that you want to manifest. Whatever it is that you want to create. Like recreating the desired outcome through motion or art. Obviously you can also use tarot for this purpose, which is actually something I have done in the past. And I do have my, is it the Spirit? Radiant Spirit Tarot. I have it here so we can use that as well. So tarot is also a tool. Again, there's many things that can play in when it comes to this acting or creating. You can also use your imagination, which I feel like most of us do in some way or another, especially when we are manifesting, when we do gratitude lists. It's something that I love to do, like using my imagination, because again, our imagination is very, very powerful, and no matter what tool you use when it's about sympathetic magic, you do use your imagination. So you create a physical representation of an outcome. You can put energy into an object, and that's why I have the crystals here. That's why I have the key, because the key is something that I am using for manifesting something. Again, you can use whatever it is that you want, the keychain, whatever it is that you have on your, you can use that. Like the crow foot I use for protection. The glass, the, what you call that, magnifying mirror, I use for wisdom, for, the ability to seeing beyond the limits. And that object will help you create your desired outcome, whatever it is for you. It's like if I wanted to manifest love, I could use this one for that. This magic will cause a... I hear a bird. Sounds like it's close. Well, but this kind of magic will cause a immediate change at a distance, in time and space. This is very old magic, and it is based on 2 basic principles, which is what we now call the law of similarity and the law of contagious contact. And with the contagious contact, people who do voodoo use this kind of magic. So they use it for voodoo dolls. And obviously you can use this like in a bad way, but you can also use this in a good way. It's funny because it felt like someone was touching me, touching my head and my leg. Funny when I talk about voodoo, but again, it depends on how you use it. It is all about the intention that you put into it, the intention you put into the doll. But I'm going to, explain this so that you guys understand this on a more deeper level. So the doll represents a person. So the idea behind the voodoo doll is that whatever I am going to do to this doll is obviously going to happen to the person that it represents. And again, this doesn't necessarily mean to be nasty and, mean. Because this can also be used for healing. And a lot of people, do use voodoo dolls for healing or for success. You can obviously also make a voodoo doll that represents yourself. And if you guys remember, I actually have a ritual. I will link it up here. This doll was made out of sage, and we used like white thread, and we used salt. And the ritual is all about removing whatever has been brought to you from another person. But again, it doesn't have to be like a doll. This can also be represented by an object. So, you can do this like many, many ways. And obviously, voodoo dolls does have this like dark history around them. So I do feel that's why people are so scared of it, why people associate it with something dark, because it obviously can be used for dark magic. And that is also why so many people are afraid of, voodoo dolls. But again, I will say, don't be afraid of it. You can also use photographs this way. You can take a photograph of someone or something, so you will put your energy into it. So again, this can be like a person that you want to heal. It can also be a pet that you want to heal. So the magic you create for that picture will affect the other person. Or again, if it's like an animal, it will affect the animal. Or again, this could be things, this could be a place, whatever it is that you have in mind. And the more similarities there is between the object and the person, the faster and quick this magic will obviously work. Because if the similarities are not the strongest, it will take more time and it will take more of your energy. Like the same way with writing. Like if I would write the name Julia, on a piece of paper, then the things that you write on that piece of paper will affect Julia. And obviously, this is going to take a little bit more of your energy. It's going to take a little bit more time than if you would have used a doll. Because that you crafted that doll to, look exactly like Julia. Because you crafted that doll to look like exactly like her. And again, obviously, if you want this to go faster, you could obviously use like personal belongings, like a necklace or a ring or a bracelet or a piece of hair, a piece of nail. So again, the more similarity it has, the more personal it is, the faster this will work. You can also use candle magic, so you can write or you can carve things into the candle. I actually have been talking about that. I actually think that I have videos where I show you guys how to do that. You can use colors, like the red one is for lust, it's for love, it's if you want to bring more passion into your relationship, you use obviously red colors. If you want to manifest love, you can also use red colors or pink colors. You can use herbs. And there's a lot of magic when it comes to herbs. I will talk more about that. I don't know how much I'm going to get into it with this one. But again, it's just like the law of similarity is just so mind-blowing. And I can't wait to teach you guys this, because it's out of this world, and it makes sense why we received plants, or why we received colors or texture or what have we all. So if we talk about coins, I actually did like a coin ritual together with Kiris. It is on her channel, so I'm going to link it up here. But the coins represent money. That means that they can represent even more money. Even, you know, if this is like 50 cents. Like attracts like. So this will attract more money, depending on the energy and the creation that I put into this little piece of metal. Another thing is, if we are trying to get around obstacles, we can use keys. And it's funny because I have a deck where one of the cards are actually, you know, all about that. We can use keys because obstacles can be like doors. And, you know, doors can be locked, and that's when they become obstacles. So if you want to open those doors, you can use a solution like a key. So I'm looking for solutions to get rid of obstacles. I can use keys as sympathetic solutions to bring solutions into my life. It's that easy. So if we talk more about the law of similarity, because again, I do like the concept of the law of similarity, and it's very, very deep. As I said, it's very, very old. It's very complex, but I'm going to, you know, explain this as easy as I can. And again, I might need to do a part 2 of this. The camera is blinking, so if it dies, I'm going to change the battery. But the law of similarities says that a like produces like, and that effect resembles the cause. And there are 2 ways that we can use the idea of this magic. So first, if we want to affect change, we can bring it about by reproducing it through symbolic action. So a popular example is the dances by, is it hunter and gatherer communities? I'm going to write it on the screen because I might say that wrong. Before a successful hunt, they act out this very choreographed dance. And, you know, this dance is so powerful and, you know, magical. If you guys have never seen it, I am going to put a link down below if I can find it again. Because when I was researching this, I stumbled upon, you know, this dance, and I was just very fascinated about it, because again, it is connected with like tribes, like old tribes in the old days. It's connected with the Mayans also did stuff like this. And I feel like in cultures, they have a lot of like dancing that represents something when it comes to magic, or when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to the old kind of magic. We are back. Obviously the camera died. So another example is a more modern day witch with artistic flair, who wishes to successfully buy the house of her dreams, chanting or meditating herself into a state of deep trance, and then painting like an image of her standing in the doorway smiling. So you can use, you know, many ways, and you can do many things when it comes to sympathetic magic. So other things that plays into the law of similarity, other rules or other, you know, like I call it the rundown list, is that, you know, things resembles other things can bring about similar effects to those things. That is, for example, like when we talk about herbs, I hope I say that right, herbs. But if herbs resembles like a particular body part, that herb might straighten that part of the body by, you know, bringing more of its essential nature into that body part. And that's why I always say that I feel like, you know, the universe or God or whatever you believe in created things that look like or that resembles what it can be used for. So the universe put like certain clues out for us, you know, by making plants or herbs or whatever, you know. Colors are also like a big deal when it comes to sympathetic magic. Some plants, they have parts that looks like body parts or that looks like something inside of our body. Like there is a flower, I can't remember if it's something with lungs. That flower looks like the inside of our lungs, so it can be used for that, which is very interesting with, you know, the pandemic, because I do feel that flower could actually be used for that. Well, maybe they are, you know, trying to figure out how it can be used. You never know. So again, I do feel the universe like made a lot of plants with signatures so that we could figure out how they could be used. For instance, if you take like a walnut, it is good for the head and brain, obviously, because they look like, you know, the head, they look like a brain. Plus that it has a very soothing effect for the skin. It's like red beet juice, is that what you call that? It's good for lowering blood pressure, and it's really good for, like, I don't know if you call it blood disease, but if there is something with the blood, red beet juice is good for that, or just like red beet. If I can find pictures, I'm going to show you guys the pictures, because I might pronounce some of these things like wrongly. Like the plant eyebright, it has flowers that resembles the shape of our eyes. So it was used to treat problems related to the eyes, to sight. And spiritually, this led to eyebright being used in rituals related to, you know, psychic side, to embrace our psychic abilities. I do want to use that for future rituals that we're going to make. These candles. So the herb that I, you know, talked about before is lungwort. Lungwort is used to treat like illnesses that is linked together with the lungs. It has been used for coughs, colds. Like I said, lungwort does resemble like the tissue inside of our lungs. So it can, you know, treat diseases, you know, that's based or that's around the lungs, which is interesting with like the new virus. So that's why I, you know, when I was studying it and I learned about it, I was like, well, why are people not using that? Because, you know, there is a reason why we have that plant. So, I mean, obviously, I guess that they do, because it would be stupid not to dig into that. But again, there is so many examples on this, so I could go on and go on and go on. I am probably going to make a video that's just based on herbs, because that there is so many things that resembles our body, and it is something that's being used way more in Chinese medicine. Because if you look at the Chinese medicine, colors and like flavors in plants corresponds to, you know, the organs they are, you know, used for, that they are used to treat. So, you know, there is a lot of coincidences, I guess you can say, when it comes to plants or colors or flavors. And you know, the human body, the chakras, energy. I know there is it Bach? There is like a British doctor, I think it's Edward Bach or something like that, because he's more focused on vibrations and he's more focused on energy when it comes to it. So again, we need more of those people who look more into that. I do think he was a doctor in 1930 or something like that, so I don't know if he's, you know, I don't think he's alive anymore, but I just feel like in the past it's been hidden a little bit. I do feel like with the Age of Aquarius we are getting back onto all this like alternative medicine, but it's been hidden for a long time. So I do also feel that's why it's so important for me to talk about this now, because it's out there, or it's, you know, getting out there. But again, if we take like, let's take tarot for the last thing I'm going to talk about today, because I know that you guys have been very excited about hearing about that, or about this, and it's something that I love. And it's funny because I have the Queen of Cups here, and the Queen of Cups is someone who's like manifesting her dreams and desires. So you could use the Queen of Cups for manifesting your dreams and desires. You could give her the purpose of helping you manifest your dreams and desires. But normally what you do is that you channel the cards. You channel the energy of the cards. And again, the object or the tarot card can represent you, or it can represent another person. So obviously if you want to manifest or attract a sign, you could choose the King of Pentacles, but you could also choose a tarot card that represents the zodiac sign that's linked together with the person. So it has to, again, like I said before, it has to be very, very specific. If it's about a house, you could use the Four of Wands, because, you know, a lot of the times it does represent a house as well, because it has like the pillars, so it can represent like a doorway that you're going into. You could also use the Six of Wands for being recognized in work or having success. You could use the Three of Wands for moving or for traveling. So basically you just, you know, like we spoke about before, you put the energy into the card. You use your imagination. You could use, or you could, you know, you could combine, you know, the card together with an object, like, you know, the key. I could use the Four of Wands together with the key because I, you know, want to manifest a castle, I want to manifest a house or something like that. You could use like a heart or something together with a card that represents a person, a zodiac sign. You could use, for example, if you want to heal yourself, you could take the card that represents you and you could use herbs or something like that, you know, that represents the issue or the body part that you want healed. You could do that too. There's no limits to sympathetic magic. There's no limits to how you use it. Obviously, you know, it's like crystals. You can use crystals as well. You can use tarot cards combined with crystals. The candles are going crazy. You can use candles combined with crystals or tarot cards. You know, some people do the thing is it's actually because I remember I did that in my young days, where I took a tarot card, and I remember, I don't know how, but I had a piece of hair, or one hair, I think it's one hair, from a person that I wanted to manifest. And I remember I waxed the piece of hair together with the cards to manifest the person. It's a person that I still have in my life, and we always had like this like strange chemistry between us. But you know, I think when you grow older you realize who you really fit together with, or you know, yeah, you become more aware of who you want to manifest, especially when it comes to another person. But obviously you can use tarot cards to increase love, you can use candles to do that, objects. I remember that I also did the thing that I like played out tarot cards, and I put them out when we have new moons. So if you want to manifest something new, you can use 3 cards that represent something, you know, like the Star together with the 6 of Wands and whatever, the Queen of Cups, for manifesting success. If you want to become pregnant, you could use the Empress. If you want to manifest a good relationship with your mother, or a good relationship with your daughter or son, you could also use the Empress together with, you know, another card that represents the other person. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for this. Again, it's been long waited, but there is so many things when it comes to sympathetic magic, because it can go many ways. You can do many things as long as it resembles, or as long as it has similarities with what you want to manifest or person, no matter what it is that you're using. And I will say to people who want to do like, oh, I want to make a voodoo doll of someone that I want to manifest, or I want to use magic for a bad thing, always remember that whatever you put out, no matter what this is, comes back 10 times worse if it's like a negative energy. 10 times worse. It is magic that you have to be careful with, because again, it can backlash. You have to manifest with your heart, not your mind. That's something that is very, very important. Manifest with your heart, not your mind. Obviously, you can also, that just came to me, you can also use runes. I did make 2 videos about runes. So they are on my channel. I also made a post on my website where I wrote some of the symbols that I like to use when I manifest with runes. But I feel this is going to be everything for today, people. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. This was really fun to make and talk about. And I love teaching you guys all this. And I have this book that I have not digged into yet, so I know that I just saw a sweet notice me spell. Notice me spell. Should we do that one of the next days? So I am throughout Halloween, because you guys know it's already Halloween for me. We are going to do a lot of magic. We are going to do a lot of spells. I do have the rose spell that I'm going to do as well. That is also going to show you guys what I mean with sympathetic magic. We're like using colors or something that represents chakras, or that represents chakras that helps us manifest, no matter if this is like love or creativity or your abilities. But if you guys are interested in a private reading, healing session, or removal of blocks, all information is down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and also let me know in a comment what you think about this. If you already have used sympathetic magic, let me know. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hide with me. The sun is up, the clouds are gone, but I'm still here with wounds on my feet. Where